Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the beautiful landscape of Scotland. For today's adventure we're joined by a Highlander 87 out here, and today we've come to the beautiful coastal village here of Johnshaven, and we're starting the adventure at the wee harbour. So check it out, this is the North Sea out here, and this is the incredible fishing harbour. This little village built around the fishing community back in the day. And yeah, it's an amazing start to the video. Today we've come here to look at a crazy piece of World War II history that I have been to one time, probably more than a year ago now, so it's fun to come back, and Highlander's never been here to see it. So we're on today's video, we're away to document it. Look at these boats. This is the fishing scene here in the village. Boy Douglas it's called, and Tranquility. A couple of fishing vessels. And yeah, to get to this ancient wonder, we just basically have to head up the coast a couple of miles out of the village. Look at this folks, the amount of creel pots that's along here, or creel nets. It's still obviously a hustling, bustling fishing community here. And that's cool to see, because a lot of the smaller harbours further down the coast there, they're all kind of finished with, and there's no much of this. It's more like the mainstream places like Peterhead and that's got the main fishings. Check out here folks, look at the scene. It's just absolutely magical. The great North Sea out here, and it's amazing to see the boats away in the distance. There's kind of a mist and you can see miles, and the boats in the mist just look amazing. Our historical wonder is just further up the coast, and it's basically an old home guard defence. It was built inside a 1700s lime kiln, and that's a special thing. It's one ancient piece of history then that was reused for a modern purpose that was needed in the war. So yeah, it's a mad adventure. Sometimes the fun thing is just kind of heading out on a day like this. Since the last video, all week folks, I've been ill. That's how there wasn't a lot uploaded to the channel between the two videos, like, so yeah, it's just mad. We've got the sunshine. It is actually nice to be out and getting the fresh air. That person's got an abandoned house in their garden. Incredible. Check out folks, in the sky we can hear the rumble of the helicopter. I think it's Coast Guard. It's hard to tell because it's quite bright, but I do believe it is Coast Guard. Here we are folks, I believe this kiln was built by Carnegie in 1738 or thereabouts, and then in World War II it was taken by the Home Guard and changed and developed from its original kiln status into what was a proper solid lookout here for the Home Guard. It was like a pillbox lookout, but built from the strongest structure, all this being the original structure, and then all these cement pieces put in by the Home Guard. What a crazy little underground bitty. Look, this is where they would have been looking out and shooting. I think there's been stuff pushed up against the bottom of it, like earth. Wow folks, what a mad scene, eh? Look at this. This is one of the original places they would have filled the lime kiln. See, Bodden lime kiln similar to this down the coast, but all these historical details are blocked up and backfilled. It's cool to see that. The original entrance where they would have stocked up the lime kiln. Yeah. Wow, and then think about the crack for the Home Guard and stuff in the war. Proper built. Absolute mad scenes. What a place.
So do you think it went further in?
Well, I don't know originally, like the whole kiln may have just come here. The history of this old 1700s kiln is quite impressive folks. Just to imagine how long ago these stones and stuff were built in there. So just think how different the world was when a place like this was actually built. The limestone that they were burning to make the lime powder or whatever, that was crucial back at that time. And there was a lot of these built up and down the country a lot of the time next to a water source, like a few of them's at the sea, and I don't know if that was because it was quite easy to export stuff and import it, or if they actually used the water for a certain reason. But it's cool to see the stonework, and it's like massive chunks. Whoa, I'm falling. All this is, it's interesting like where that's come from, because it's obviously not falling down for the roof. Yeah, it's just like bedrock here. See the way they've actually built it into the bedrock? What a crazy structure. I'm going to analyse that opening there as well. Because originally, obviously, with the kiln, this bit here would have been open, and they would have probably come in, maybe with a horse's cart, they would have rolled it back, taken the limestone and thrown it in. Or like maybe they put the wood and stuff in down here with the limestone higher above. Let's head back out. Look at this. This is the work of the home guard here. This cement roof, sealing it in. And yeah, I think at this point here there would have been another one of those small archways where they could have loaded up the lime kiln. Only at a time of war you'd be able to take apart a historical wonder like this and change it so drastically, but it is cool to see on the channel. And this sunshine's amazing when you come out of there. And then it's had this other entranceway at this side. See, it's like it's been backfilled as well at a certain time. This would have been another place that would have probably loaded up the kiln. Wow folks, what a scene of history on the channel. It's so cool to come back here, because I was forgetting how grand and massive it was. And it's so cool just to think about the wartime here, and probably you wouldn't be allowed to come and hang out here and explore when the home guard was sitting on lookout. The whole kiln's built right back in there. But look, there's also a wee building here. So I'm not sure what this has been. Maybe a little storeroom or an office related to the kiln. Sometimes with these buildings as well, stones got taken away and used for like other projects, other things over the country. And you can see how everything here is just built onto the mad bedrock. It's cool to see the way that the bricks is built into the arches with the bigger natural limestone or sandstone for the outer construction. And we're going to go and take a look up on top, see what remains of the history up there. The shadows at a poor angle with the winter sun here. But look at this, that's the lookout. And you can see at one time with the red stone as well on the arch above it. Built in the 1700s. It's blowing my mind folks, stepping back in time once again on the channel. Look at this folks, it's an impressive structure right here. This is the top of the kiln, and I'm guessing in the war they obviously built their cement there and then threw more stuff back over the top of it, because the tunnel and everything that comes in is just under there. And that's why they had to put the cement above your head at that section. Whoa, look, a hare! Whoa, live on the video, folks. That's the kind of nature as well as the history that we bring you. I always promise you the most random things there, folks. That's one of them. There's so many sheep up there in that other field. Wow, this is just incredible with the sun shining. And what a big structure. I'm going to go and have a look at that side. See, one time I came, I theorised if this had maybe been originally barbed wire they had put over here. Kind of in the war. Maybe they had barbed wire to stop people doing like a blindsided attack on the position. And I think the wall actually does continue out this way. So I'm not sure originally how much had actually been built. If there had been maybe like two big circles here, eh? Similar to Bodden. Because I'm only seeing one of the kilns up here, which is unusual. Down below it looks like there would be two. Anyway, what a scene, folks. Look at this. We're standing on the edge of history with this view. It's just magic. You hear those birds? Look, there's some crazy seabirds like.
Yeah, you could be right. It could be the second.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
And see, originally as well, I believe there was actually older kilns further over there. See how there's a stone thingy? So look at this, folks. Here's the remains of one of the even older kilns that used to be on this site, and there has been a couple of them. Here you can see one of the things we saw recently on the video, stone vitrification from extreme heat, and that can be seen here on the back wall of the lime kiln. But obviously this is explainable. It's been years and years of the hot furnace-like temperatures, whereas recently on the video we saw it on the stones of a hilltop fort. Look at this one. This is another ancient kiln, and look how all the stones at higher levels melted together. And look down here, you can actually see the individual bricks still. That's a cool bit of history. And now look, you can see the snow. Snow is falling on this adventure, folks, and it's a real winter atmosphere out here. So we've come a wee bit further, folks. Look, there's the remains of the next kiln. It's like history that's almost gone and almost forgotten, and that's why it's cool to document it. Obviously, the more years that pass, things like that crumble and fall down, and the fact there was a lime kiln there at all could just go forgotten in a few years. I think we're going to head on a wee bit further because there's some other interesting wee historical nuggets further up here. There's even more World War II history further up here as well. All the places on the coast of Scotland and that, and the whole of the UK, if there was like bits where the Germans or the invading forces could easily come onto the land, Britain did all they could do to defend those areas with little bunkers or little machine gun positions. And we can see remains of that all along the coast here. Little lookouts like that in the lime kiln. That's where they may have had binoculars and stuff looking out over the North Sea. The folk in the Home Guard were those that were too old or unable to go to the front line for certain reasons. So they did all they could do here at the home front to defend against the German invasion of the Nazis or whatever was cracking at that time. So from looking at the land here, folks, it looks like this is where the limestone quarry may have been, where they dug the stone out to put into the furnace. And look at this, it's a healthy flock of sheep that's in the field. They're all kicking about in the snow, eating the grass. Check out here, we've come around the next coastal corner here on the path, and there's actually another World War II historical wonder in this field. So we'll go and take a quick look at this. Imagine being an invading force, coming round the corner, and then you see this, folks. A little defensive position. It would be firing out at incoming forces. Sometimes these were just obviously like lookouts and stuff, but it was put in as like a structure, so if invasion did take place, there was places which could be used for defence, pre-built and ready to go. And just check it out, the 1940s door frame is still here. Maybe 1930s even. Wow, what a cool place. I'm sure there was more water in it the last time we came. Check it out, folks, we're going in for a look. There is a lot of water in it, no doubt, but it's not as bad. Wow, see this is... Never seen before on the channel, folks. As I put my foot in the water. That big rock there looks fine, eh? I've got my foot on a sturdy rock. Yeah, this is the first time we've ever been this far inside here, folks. And what a cool place to document. Look at the window with the snow going past. And yeah, things like this just built back at such a crazy time, and it's almost forgotten nowadays, like the modern generation stuff. They didn't realise all that was done back in the war for the defence and for the freedom of the country the way it is just now. And like, aye, the place just still stands here. Some of the cement looks like it was just put in a couple of days ago. You can see how when they laid When they poured the cement onto the wood, it's left its grain once they took away the wooden shuttering. Look how muddy and dirty it is in here. Wow, crazy adventures once again on the channel, folks. We've just explored the beachhead bunker here, probably like a mile and a half south of Johnshaven. And just look at this view. I'm always just blown away when I look over places like this. This water in front of us is fully frozen from one side to the other, and it looks like there's a wheelie bin or something in the middle of it. And then see, these were often covered with mud and grass, and that was so from the air you couldn't actually tell that there was a bunker there, or it was harder to see. It was a camouflage technique covering them over. And then obviously it's at a peak area here with a steep incline, and some of this may have been dug even steeper for the defence of the bunker, so if anybody was invading and attacking, they wouldn't easily be able to just run up here. And it's the same with that ditch that runs in from that side. I theorise that's man-made as well to hinder the approach. The guns would be opening up. Sometimes there could be 5 or 6 home guard in there, all with a gun each. But one bunker's often not a lot for the defence of such a large area. The whole way along here there is other strategic pillboxes positioned in the land. See this here, folks, this could have been a ditch that I was suggesting may be defensive, so invading forces would have so much of a harder time. And it is cool to theorise of each detail like that. It's not just the bunker there that's left to tell the story of the history, it's other little details. Some of these waves, the sound of them crashing, it's just a madness, folks. A winter madness out here. And look at the colour of these rocks. Now we're moving on to the next historical wonder on this wee adventure, folks. Look at the colour of these stones. Natural sandstone bedrock, really crumbly. Every year some of this stuff can like fall down and land on the path. So check it out, folks, this is the next remains of the history here, and it's these World War II tank traps, and this was to stop large invading forces travelling up roads like this easily. These were put into position to hinder the speed of the attack and to hinder the speed of the invading forces. And that's cool as well to piece that together with all the history we've seen today. It's all been World War II related, Home Guard related, and it shows even in this one little area how much was done. So check it out here, folks, this is the next historical wonder on this adventure, and this was the first one that's not actually World War II related. This is an old lime kiln, which I keep calling it a lime kiln. This is an old ice house which dates probably 1700s, most likely 1700s, and it's a massive underground chamber which used to be used to store ice for the fishing, for the local fishing scene, as we've pre-mentioned in this video. This is the sort of place that they used to fill with ice and store it for the storage of fish. They would have big places like this, so all year round they would have ice. And some estates have ice houses as well that we've documented previously, but this is an absolute massive random one here. See, the way the flooring is built, it's all proper. Like each one of those pebbles has been put in like that. So big, folks, absolutely massive, but I just thought it's worth documenting it as we walk past. So cool. Yeah, if you're ever at the top you really have to be careful because there's a hole there, and I think the shape of the roof's part of the design, so all the hot air rises to the highest point of the arch and then goes out that hole. So then it was always the coldest possible air inside it. Look at these hinges. So cool. It's like mad, because it's like almost crazy to imagine the person that's opening and closing that door when they're doing their day's work. And then think of the door itself, probably a big wooden unit. And it's so cool, all the things they used to make out of the stone back in the day. And you can see the limestone mortar. That's another thing that they used with the limestone from the places like the kiln. They used to use the lime kilns back in the day for heating up the limestone, turning it to powder for stuff like that, the cement, but also spreading in the fields to increase the yields, to change the lime content obviously in the soil. So that's the reason it was a big thing at a certain time for agriculture and for building in general. Scotland and Britain supplied all their own limestone in a big way and exported it as well, I would think. And it is cool to see an ice house and tell the story of the fishing heritage as well for this area. That's been going on since probably before even like the 1700s and way back. As long as man was probably around this area, he was catching fish. And that's cool to think about. In the distance we can see Johnshaven. And it's been a cool, interesting, there's been so much things to see in this one area, it's just mind blowing. And I wonder if there was a wee building maybe built here at a certain time on the outside, like a shed. Because I think there's been a proper track coming down there in front of us, judging from the lie of the land. And wow, what a place, folks. It's been a crazy adventure. Yeah, look, there's been a wall right along here. Well, we just walk back along and go out the gate. There you go though, folks. Ice house. What a scene with the snow blowing past it. And then this old wall. Think of the horse and carts. Or maybe the wall was designed so they could come alongside it and then get loaded. But yeah, think of the horse and carts and the amount of manpower back in the day that went into all those industries locally. And think of the jobs that it all gave at a certain time. Whereas modern industry and stuff's all getting moved abroad and taken out of the British people's hands. And it's a sad time, considering how great everything was back in the day for industry like that, supporting the local communities. Check it out, folks, look at the snow shower now that we're in the middle of. This is how the weather in Scotland can change so quick in the winter. Look at that side. It's just absolute paradise scenes out here today. Winter paradise. So check it out, folks, we've made it back as far along as this beautiful little village of no, what's it? It's not Johnshaven, folks, we're in. Look at the ice here. It's totally lethal today, like -3. Yeah, we're back to, it's like this typical little Scottish village scene here with the little houses and the wee streets. It's so cool to have a walk through here on a winter's day. It's been years since I've walked even through this village, so it is cool to see it. And to give viewers all over the world an idea of what a little Scottish village looks like. Imagine having a wee house down here, short walk from the seaside. You need to be a good driver to come down through this little gap. That's how there'll be no gritter. It's no being salted. You can hear the wee birds tweeting. So check it out, folks, we're back to the little harbour area that we started the video at. And look, there's some more boats in this little side area. Look, it's crazy, yeah. The main harbour's out there, and then there's this bit here. Marina or whatever. Hear the bubbles or whatever. It's crazy, folks. Look where that is. Oh, I didn't there. It's bubbling. When the waves come up, it must be air coming out of the rocks. Crazy. Anyway, folks, look at this scene for the outro. We're ending it here today, though. We've seen so much history in one place. Not only the fishing history, the history of the lime kilns, and then the history of the World War II, with all like the home guard things that were done, and then also the history of the ice house, and then to have the wee coastal adventure along the way. You know what it's like on the channel, folks. But I'm ending it here. Goodbye from me, goodbye from Highlander 87. We'll catch you very soon with the next scene, wherever we end up going.